Jake Heisinger joins us now, Assistant General Manager, Vice President Hockey Operations with the Winnipeg Ice. And he joins us the day after the 2020 Western Hockey League Bantam Draft. It's the culmination of a year's work for the Hockey Operations Department. So the first question probably should be, are you doing okay today after a day like that?
Yeah, it was a good day. You know what? It's like you said, a year's long work, and everybody really looks forward to the Bantam Draft. So for us, it was a good day, and I think as a staff, we were we're really excited about how it all played out.
Okay, well, let's work us through the list here. We've got 13 players to talk about, so we'll try and be efficient. And we begin with the 14th overall pick in the draft, Zach Benson of the Yale Hockey Academy.
Yeah, you know what? Zach was a guy that we were really high on from the start. A player with extremely high hockey IQ, very smart, very skilled, and makes everyone around him better. So for us, he was a guy we had at the top, and for him to be available at 14, we were really excited.
MVP of the Canadian Sports School Hockey League Bantam Division, so a very talented player. And while we're talking about talented players, let's move on to the second one you guys chose, Aiden Oiring, in round number 3, but the top scorer in the Alberta Bantam League.
Yeah, you know what? Aiden was a guy that we actually we had rated in our first round, and there's 22 teams and 22 different lists, but we certainly felt that he checked all the boxes as well from hockey IQ, skill, and speed standpoint. So to be able to select him in the third round was, we felt really fortunate, and we feel he's going to be a very good player in our league.
Really interesting mix of players in and amongst the 13. You've got these guys off the top with the skill and the hockey sense, and maybe not the size. And then Ashton Clark gets his name called, 6'4", 194 pounds, big defenseman out of Alberta.
Yeah, you know what? He's a guy that just started playing competitive hockey, and a guy that we had our eye on throughout the year. And he every time we went back and watched, he continued to get better and better. And like you said, I mean, he's already 6'4", so really starting to grow into his body and understand how to use his big frame to his advantage. So a guy that we feel has a lot of upside, and like I said, as the year went on, just kept getting better and better.
Well, we'll stay in Alberta for the next pick. We'll go to Ty Fraser down Lethbridge way, and a guy who worked his way into a spot in that league's the Alberta League's All-Star game.
Yeah, Ty's I would say a two-way power forward that can really skate. Big kid, real strong, and can really drive the D back and open up space for his line mates. So another guy that we felt would really complement the other two forwards that we took early on.
I would imagine one of the things you look for in a player is improvement year over year. And when you talk about improvement, a guy that just jumps out at you is Isaiah Arnold out of Saskatoon.
Yeah, big year for him, obviously. I know you're referring to his point totals, which obviously was leading. He led the defenseman in scoring in the Saskatchewan Bantam League, and a guy that we just feel, again, real smart, can skate, and does a lot of real good things out there, sees the ice well, can make plays. So a guy that we think has a lot of upside, and a guy that from the start of the year to the end of the year was a key part of his team, and really excited to be able to add him.
The Ice had 3 selections in round number 8, and you started those picks off with the first goaltender you took on the day.
Yeah, Brock Lott played on a really good team. Was a big part of the reason his team had success, and I think the one thing that stands out with him is just how consistent he was from the start of the year to the end of the year, and in net, obviously that's really important to get that consistent goaltending, and we felt like he did that this season. So we feel that as a goalie, lots of tools there, and we expect him to continue to grow and develop and become a even better goaltender.
Just an unbelievable goals against average too, a 1.30 on the season with a .935 save percentage. The next pick in the 8th round for your team, Josh Carmen out of Calgary, and Calgary's been a pretty good spot for supplying players to this team.
Yeah, Josh, I would say was captain of his North Stars team in Calgary, and his team on the ice as a whole probably didn't have the best year standings wise, but I think the one thing that stood out with us with Josh, is just how competitive he is, and how every game he brings his A effort. So really hard-nosed player that does whatever it takes to win, and is willing to every night bring it. So every time we watched him, like I said, it was his A effort, and that really stood out to us.
The Ice have mentioned it before that Manitoba players will be a priority for them. They want to have players from the home province in the mix, of course, and he took one with Omen Harmon, who's playing at Shattuck St. Mary's.
Yeah, you know what? Bit of an interesting story, obviously, with him being from Winnipeg and playing in Shattuck in the States. So, a guy that can really skate, move the puck, and I think for us, we felt fortunate that he was available then. And whenever a guy plays in the States, it's obviously a little bit more difficult to view him. So to be able to add him, we think that there's a lot of upside there as well, and think that it was a really good fit as well, with obviously him being from Winnipeg.
Takes us into round number 9. Conor Dale out of St. Albert, a center iceman who played in that Canadian Sports School league.
Yeah, Conor has lots of skill. I think he, as his year went on, he started to play a more consistent game, and I think for him the biggest thing is just using his skill and speed to his advantage on a nightly basis. So a guy that excites us from a skill standpoint. So we think that as the years go on, he'll continue to improve and get stronger and round out his game.
Here's a player that got drafted in round number 10, a Manitoban who might have got picked in round 10, but I think he's got a first-round name, Fox McCall. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, obviously we've had a pretty good run with kids from the Yellowhead program there. So to be able to add another one to our organization was exciting for us. And Fox, obviously had a really good year. A guy that can skate, move the puck, versatile, played some forward for his team as well this season. So, to be able to add a player like that in the later rounds, and a player, from the Yellowhead program that does a really good, they do a really good job of developing players. And obviously, Ice fans would know that with our team, with Cole Meir, Dawson Bartow, and Connor Geeky. So excited to be able to keep that connection going.
On to round number 11, and the second goaltender the Ice took on the day, Ty Hogue out of Portage La Prairie, who was a busy guy and showed a lot of character this year.
Yeah, you know what, Ty, obviously, his team had a bit of a tough season on the ice. They didn't win a game, but a guy that we just felt continued to battle every night, no matter what the score was, and really a competitor in the crease. So we feel that with continued development over the next couple of years, he has a chance because of his competitiveness, and he's already a big guy. So excited to be able to add him as well.
Well, we talked about pipelines in terms of the Yellowhead Chiefs and their contributions to the Winnipeg Ice. St. Albert seems to be forming one as well, with Matt Savoy, of course, a prominent selection out of St. Albert. We mentioned Conor Dale a few moments ago, and in round 12, Jack Ketsa into the fold too.
Yeah, Jack's a guy that just as the season went on, really started to grab our eye and continued to get better and better. And our scout Ryan Ginter, who lives in Edmonton, watched him a lot throughout the year, and a guy that we feel has a chance to be a good player in the league. So to be able to add him in the late rounds was something that we were excited about.
And before the day was done, in round number 13, you're able to add a player by the name of Jackson Sperling, who played in Yorkton in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Jackson's a big kid, already 6'4", and a guy that is starting to grow into his body as well, and learn how to use his size to his advantage. So, we think there's some upside there. He's continued to improve from a skill level and skating standpoint as the year went on. So, we think a couple of years of development, Jackson's going to have a chance to play for the Ice one day.
Jake, just to wrap things up before we go, I wanted to ask you about welcoming these players and their families into the ICE program, because I know that's a point of pride and a really important part of the process.
Yeah, you know what? I reached out to to every player yesterday after the draft, and Matt was able to speak to them as well. So over the next week or so here, we'll be reaching out to them and their families again here, and having a good chat about what we feel is important for their development, and be able to introduce them to our organization and get them familiar with how we do things here in Winnipeg. So we'll be having those conversations over the next week or so, and I think anytime you're able to welcome 13 families to your organization, it's pretty exciting for us.
Yeah, really exciting. Great day. Congratulations to you and all the hockey operations staff. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Mitch.